Hey, everyone. Jim Phoenix here, and another exciting episode of Invite Me In. No, really, it's hot outside. Invite me in. I know you have AC knocking on everyone's door. Today, we're still in Buffy land. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Apparently, there's more than 3 episodes. Who knew? I didn't know, because I'm the not know guy. The premise, of course, is simple. We've got 2 super fans with Xander. Say hello.
Hello.
And Jess, say hi.
What's up?
And we've got the guy who's seen it once through. Travis, say hi.
Hello.
Along with me, the bumbling idiot who's seen nothing at all, and I have no idea what anything is really. It's just some sort of vampire slaying thing, I guess. Title, that's all I know. Oh, boys. Oh, man, I can't wait to get in this episode as we discuss the Witch episode, right? Like WITCH, Witch?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Not anything to do with the movie, which I didn't like, by the way.
I did not either.
I loved it.
It's one of it's a whole thing.
Yeah. We've had a very contentious debate about it.
That was actually the first post on Haunted Montreal was a review of me trashing the Witch.
Nice.
Yeah. And I actually did it just because someone loved it. I'm like, no, there's no way this is a good movie. There's no way. You can't convince me of this. But here we go. Bring us into, okay. For the Witch's own fame, before we get into Buffy, for its defense, it was a good period drama piece. Just wasn't a horror movie.
Yeah, that's actually on our show. That's like our most popular episode. And there's been a surprising amount of support for people in my favor that The Witch is not a good movie. But Jessie remains, she has her, I guess, corner, but I don't know. You'd be surprised.
After watching William Shatner commandeer something with a bunch of other captains on it, nothing surprises me anymore. Yeah. All right. So bring us. Okay, this is Sarah Michelle Gellar. Oh my god, is in this one, and she's still a vampire slayer. Is her mom in this one?
Yes.
Oh, it's a mom episode. Okay, so we got a mom episode.
It's very much a mom episode in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Okay, hit me.
All right.
Walk me through the cold.
Cold open. Giles is lecturing Buffy in the library. He's very upset, asks why she would shirk her responsibilities. Does she not have any respect for the sanctity? Why would she put herself in such danger and join a cult like this? Turn camera, see Buffy in a cheerleading outfit, prepared to go to cheerleading tryouts. And she says she just wants something normal and safe. And that, it's not going to get in the way of her slaying. And he tries to forbid it. And she was like, and how are you planning on stopping me? So then, then we see a mysterious cauldron bubbling green. There's a pendant over top. Ooh, spooky. And Xander and Willow come along with Buffy to the tryouts. Xander says he's got a good luck bracelet for Buffy, and that it's totally a coincidence that it's inscribed with the phrase "yours always." Totally a coincidence. That's how it came.
I found it in the store. It was a bubble game.
Yeah.
25 cents.
There's a nice little moment where Cordelia's talking shit about this one hopeful cheerleader named Amber. She was like, yeah, supposedly she was going to be a cheerleader for the Lakers, but she turned them down. Charisma Carpenter actually was a cheerleader for the Chargers.
Oh, you know what struck me strange about that scene, though? Why was she even interacting with them? Because it was Buffy, Willow, and Xander, who she makes it very clear in the past 2 episodes that she wants nothing to do with them. And she's like, even told Willow one time, she's like, why are you even talking to me? So then she goes over and talks to them.
I think part of it is because she hasn't been accepted as a cheerleader yet, so she can't talk to the existing cheerleaders. She looks at all the other cool girls that are auditioning as competition, and everybody else that isn't cool that's auditioning is so far below her status, but she's got all of this pent up shittiness that she needs to get out.
Okay.
So she goes over to Buffy.
Maybe.
That's my headcanon for it. We're gonna get more into Cordelia Chase as we go along. Worry you not.
Okay.
But yeah, so during the auditions, Amber. Well, first we meet Amy, who has apparently lost a lot of weight because she supposedly had to. But I guess she used to be friends with Willow, so
role?
Willow.
Or
No,
for
for the-
just like,
To be a cheerleader. To be a cheerleader.
Okay.
Yeah,
Man, this
so-
got dark.
Yeah, Amy and Willow used to be friends, so they're just kind of chit-chatting, and she's
Okay.
talking about how her mom was a cheerleader, and she trains with her mom 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night, and Buffy's like, if I spend that much time with my mom, I'd probably commit matricide. So we're getting some little mom action, planting those seeds early, and then during Amber's audition, not Amy, Amber, I don't know why they had to give them such similar names, Amber catches fire.
She's lit.
Yeah, she
on fire.
spontaneously combusts.
Oh, she literally catches fire. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
man, she's like doing backflips and like twirls and stuff.
It's kind of like what
That's-
Willow says. Like she says, "Oh, she's on fire," and was it like Cordelia? It's like, "Don't be hyperbolic" or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't know. She obviously didn't remember the stop, drop, and roll because she just stands there and is just like waving her arms around while
Buffy,
on fire.
yeah, Buffy does a lot of hero work in this episode, and that's one of those things that again doesn't get acknowledged the way it should be. That Buffy's always there. Buffy's always the one saving the day for people, but she puts out the fire.
Now you're saying Buffy's always there to save the day, but she's always there and things go wrong.
It's almost like Murder, She Wrote. It's like, yeah, she's going to be like, oh, I'm just this sweet old lady, but literally everywhere I go, no matter where I go, somebody's murdered.
Yeah, no, I made it on one of the podcasts. I think Jessica Lansbury is a serial killer.
Yeah,
And I don't mean like the character. It's like I'll find proof, young woman. I'm gonna find proof, Jessica Lansbury, and you'll be brought to justice. That's my next podcast. Bringing Murder, She Wrote. Question mark.
The expose.
Right. Okay, so bad things happen, but Buffy's always there, and we have someone on fire. And again, are the students at least acknowledging that someone's literally on fire now?
Yes.
Oh, they finally,
Yeah.
we're talking about this one. Okay.
Only in the moment though. They don't really care afterwards.
Yeah, the next day she's like, okay, I know somebody caught on fire, but we still need to get a squad together, so we're going to do auditions.
Yep.
Huh.
Because we're doing auditions even though the game's in like 3 days.
Yeah, it's weird, and I also want to know who choreographed. Like, some of these are choreographed well, some of them are so stupid. And there's a cheerleader that's literally just go 6, 7, 8, go Sunnydale, go 6, 7,
Those are
8.
cheerleaders. No, I mean, nothing against our cheerleaders growing up. It was just like they had 3 cheers, and it was like, there was no choreographs. It was pom-pom squad, really. Now, this is a school, right? Maybe it's a school of goldfish. That's what it is. They just keep forgetting. Oh my God, it makes so much more sense now. There you go. It's a school of fish. You guys didn't tell me that part yet. Okay, so 3 days before the big game, they decided to have cheerleaders because why not?
Yeah, we're going to hold auditions right before the game because, this is not something that, apparently we can pull being a cheerleader out of our ass.
Yeah, it's complete athletic, like the hardest athletic sport in school.
It's because they needed the climax of this episode to happen during a game, but they couldn't justify everything stretching out over the span of weeks. It's because of plot.
Reasons.
Oh boy. Okay. You guys got. I'm in it so far. Did she make the team? I hope.
Well, we'll get there.
We didn't get that far.
It's a big part of the thing. Okay.
Okay.
It's a big plot device on who makes the team or not.
I mean, she has like supernatural abilities. I hope she makes the team.
No, it's like a pivotal part of the episode.
All right. So after the credits in the library, they're talking about spontaneous combustion and what can cause it. And he said, well, Giles says it's normally associated with rage. So Willow's like, cool, I'll hack the school's computer system and see if Amber had any rage issues. And Xander's like, I'll talk to people.
Just thinking about that, it's like, I'll hack the computer system and Google search rage. Like, what are you going to do? Like,
rage. But yeah, so that's their plan. That's where Willow refers to themselves as the Slayerettes, because Buffy's like, you guys don't have to be helping me with this. And they're like, oh no, we're in this now. We've seen too much.
Like, oh no, is this or American Pie again? There's no way in hell I'm doing another American Pie movie. So we're in this one.
There's actually, they're still making them, by the way.
I saw the American Pie for the women.
Yeah, that's basically American Pie 8.
Oh,
Jesus.
Well, because there was American Pie 2, American Wedding. That's 9, because there was 4 direct-to-video ones.
And one was on the moon, which was really weird.
Yeah, but no,
American
it's like there's
Pie
actually,
in space.
if you count the direct-to-DVD ones, which some of those actually weren't bad, and by the way, Eugene Levy was in all of them, because bless that man.
Oh.
There was American Pie 1, 2, and then American Wedding. There was Bandcamp, Naked Mile, Beta House, Book of Love, then American Reunion, and now they're doing another direct-to-video one where it's basically a gender-swapped American Pie.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Do you know?
It looks awful.
Do you know all of this off the top of your head?
Yeah, I did that without even looking.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I was like, oh, do you know this? Like, why do you? Yeah, it's like, that's because I do.
I can't even get my shoes on in the morning. So we have this extension of their so Willow's hacking the school system only to look at people's files and not like give herself an A.
She doesn't need that. She's smart.
Yeah, she already gets good grades. She's already an honor student.
Oh, wow. There's getting good grades. It's like just having it done, you know? All right, fine. I'll suspend my disbelief that she's doing it only to like violate HIPAA codes. And
I don't think HIPAA applies in the school system.
Which is one of it's like FERPA family. Yeah. Okay, so she's violating the 10th Amendment, 12th Amendment, 13th, and 15th. But not the second. Where does she go with this information? Does she go anywhere this?
I don't know. I think we kind of just dropped the whole Amber storyline, honestly, because
she finds out that she got in trouble one time for smoking, like actually smoking.
Yeah, like a cigarette.
Not like on fire smoking.
Oh,
she
right.
makes a clear distinction.
Yeah, that's all she finds out nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And then we don't talk about Amber for the rest of the episode.
Wasn't Amber her like was Amber now I'm seeing what you mean by the names. Was Amber or Amy Willow's friend?
Amber was on fire. Amy was her friend.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why did she have to look up on her friend? She should probably know. Like, okay, so is Amber is on fire. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Amy's next.
Well, no, not quite. So we go to the tryouts. The Amy cartwheels directly into Cordelia. And so Cordelia, being Cordelia, threatens her in the locker room and says that her dream is to be a cheerleader and to be admired by all of the varsity athletes, and that if Amy ruins that, she's dead.
Did she say admired or like, you know, attracted by?
She just wants attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Xander is walking with Willow, talking about the bracelet that he gave Buffy and asking if he should ask her out. And Willow, like, clearly feels conflicted because we've got little hints that maybe she has feelings for Xander. They've been friends for so long. And then Xander calls her one of the guys.
Oh,
he says,
nice.
he says, you're like a guy. I can talk to you about stuff like this.
Friend zone.
Yeah.
Wow, everyone gets friend zoned. And then like Giles actually friend zones Buffy, which is weird. I'm like, dude, I don't know. What's up with this stuff?
So then we find out who made the squad, and Xander is dumb.
In his defense, I wouldn't understand this either. Like, I would be like, "Oh man, awesome! You guys all made the team. Let's go out and celebrate." But apparently, they just made like the secondary or alternate.
Yeah, first alternate. Buffy's first alternate. Amy is third alternate. Cordy is actually on the team.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, Xander, you're so insensitive," and it's like, "Oh, I mean,
No, I honestly thought the scene was kind of funny where he's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm here. This is my time. I'm gonna. Oh, look, you didn't make the team. Oh, here, let me come for you."
Wait, there's alternates? I'm kind of still stuck on like I'm with Travis. I have no idea either. I'm like,
basically,
how the hell are there alternates?
What they described, at least in the Buffy universe, what the alternates were you had your squad and then you had your alternates, and then for some reason, you're almost like an understudy.
Yeah.
Like Broadway. Like if for some reason somebody in the squad didn't make it, your first alternate, you move up to the team. And then everybody just moves up a spot.
Huh. Yeah, I came from
It's
a very
like
small school.
first runner up.
Yeah.
Oh, otherwise known as a loser. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, so that's then Xander's like, hey, losers. You guys are all losers. And like, dude, thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, except he's like very cheerful because he thinks they're winners.
yeah."
Amy runs off upset. Then we see the bubbling cauldron again, and a Barbie doll with Cordelia's headband wrapped around it and talking about blinding my enemy. And here's what killed me is the captions spoiled who is over top of the cauldron.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see that. I watched this one without captions because I was too lazy to turn them on.
Yeah, it spoiled it. We find out relatively quickly after this scene, like the Scoobies piece it together, but still, it was annoying to me because I was like, man, they were supposed to, work it out. And
yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah. It annoyed me a little bit.
Yeah.
So where am I at on my notes?
So she's at the cauldron, but before this, did anyone not make the team at all? Because how bad do you have to be then if everyone's like a damn alternate?
None of our main characters. People we don't care about.
All the important people either made the team or they're an alternate, so they're going to still be involved somehow.
And if Buffy starts killing them off.
I know she's first alternate. She'd only have to kill one person.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
Yeah, and it makes me kind of wonder if Amber hadn't got her hands toasted, if Cordelia would have made the team or not. But yeah, so we go to Buffy's house, and Buffy and Joyce are arguing about basically Buffy's life, where she didn't make the SWAT because her mom wanted her to get back on the cheerleading team because before she became the Slayer, she was a cheerleader and she was out of trouble. And then when she became the Slayer, she had to quit cheerleading and got expelled. So her mom was hoping that this was going to be her getting back on track. And then she's like, maybe you can join the yearbook committee.
I thought at the beginning of the episode too, I thought her mom was being kind of insensitive. She was basically implying I get it, you're a fuck up, but you can do something, and Buffy, I kind of felt like she was kind of hurt by that.
I felt kind of sad because Buffy's she casually mentions that Amy's mom trains with her. And Joyce is just like, yeah, well, Amy's mom probably doesn't work.
Oh, and she's trying to explain to her mom what's happening. She's like, Mom, remind me again, what did I try out for? And she's like, I don't know, I'm distracted. And she just basically brushes it off look, I got a gallery here. I've got dicks in boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, that's a fertility statue. Buffy, you don't need to see that. And Buffy peeks and she goes, jeepers.
Yeah.
It's a dick in a box.
Hey.
Oh, man.
So the mom's there, sort of there. Buffy didn't make the team. Xander's putting his foot in his mouth. Is anything happening with Giles?
Now, this is not a very Giles-y episode for the most part. Not until
the end.
Not until the end. He's basically almost non-existent until the very end of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. But in the meantime, we see Xander not knowing how to ask girls out.
I like this scene though.
Yeah. He's trying to ask her out, but Buffy's watching Cordelia just slam into lockers. And yeah, it's this whole thing. She's like, Cordelia's acting weird. I got to go follow her because that's normal behavior. easily explainable. Whatever. It's Sunnydale. Rules of normality don't apply.
Right.
And Cordelia has driver's ed, and apparently she's failed it twice. So
Oh.
the fact that the instructor is so adamant that she needs to get behind the wheel, where she's like, I don't think I can drive today, is questionable on his part.
Okay, so I never had driver's ed in school, but is it normal for them to have like other people in the back seat while you do this?
Yeah,
have-
observation.
Okay.
We had that in
Yeah.
defensive driving.
We didn't have other people to tag along though, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I guess I forgot about that.
I fell asleep driving in driver's ed. So
Oh shit.
it was a lot. Again, I was a person who would stay out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at party.
So you can definitely relate to this scene then.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
She like straight up crashes the car through a fence.
Oh,
To
I'm
be
not that
fair, she was going blind.
Well, yes, but
We get some POV shots where we see like she's very blurry. It's me without my glasses. She can't tell if the car is in reverse or drive, and she slams through a gate. And the teacher is like, "Everybody get out of the car!" And she's just like standing in the middle of the road. And Buffy leaps out and saves the day before she gets hit by a truck.
Because
Oh,
of
yeah.
course she does.
Yeah.
And-
She's Buffy.
in those scenes, why do the trucks or the vehicles never stop whenever they see somebody in the middle of the road? Like, are they
15
also
points,
distracted?
baby.
He too
Yeah.
has been personally victimized by Cordelia Chase.
Ah.
For real, or is that you're just making that one up?
Oh, I'm just joking.
It's like everyone is.
I saw the opportunity to make a Mean Girls reference. I don't turn those down.
Oh, I was gonna,
Do you know that? Do you know how many Mean Girls references you can make?
The limit does not exist.
The limit. Damn it! You took my joke. I love that movie. I have the cookbook. There is a cookbook.
I have a burn book eyeshadow palette.
No, this was written by the guy that plays Aaron Samuels. It is the unofficial Mean Girls cookbook.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
gonna ask, what
What
the hell is Mean
recipes?
Girls? What is Mean Girls? Is that
Oh, Mean Girls is an institution.
is it like a TV show or a movie?
No, it
or
was a movie. It's a movie.
movie. Okay.
It was
Well,
it
Mean
was
Girls,
a movie, a fictional movie based off a nonfiction self-help book.
Fictional movie based off of a nonfiction self-help book.
About it was called was it Mean Girls and Queen Bees or something like that?
Queen Bees and Wannabes.
Thank you.
And yeah, Tina Fey adapted it into a script that was actually originally rated R. My high school theater class was going to do a production of Mean Girls, but we got the original script, so we had to figure out ways to edit it to make it match the movie more closely so we didn't get censored by the principal.
Nice. I'll have
Was
to-
it that bad?
I can see how it would get rated R because, like the line "she made out with a hot dog" was
Yeah.
originally "she masturbated with a hot dog."
Oh God!
Yeah, there's just
alongside of?
I love
Or
that
like
reaction. Oh God.
yeah. So there's a bunch more like adult things in there. So
This is an
It's
awkward
the-
That
time to
was
bring it
one
up.
time.
yeah, that I can't hear that line the same way anymore.
Now that I know that, and she goes, "Oh, she masturbated." With that was one time. I'm like, and now because now that I'm that guy, I'm like, wait, was it a hot dog? Was it a bratwurst? Italian sausage? What are we looking at here?
I feel like hot dog is very specific.
Very
But I'm just like, oh God, no.
it's Franks and Wieners, and unfortunately,
That wasn't Frank's and Wieners. It was Frank's Wiener.
just Frank's Wiener.
Yeah.
This is time at the 23 minute mark. We actually do have a sponsor, and it was Oscar Mayer Wieners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
You're
forget
not-
what we
you're-
just said about this. They're really good, I guess.
Sir, your wieners are delicious.
Oscar
Yeah.
Mayer does have a way.
So we're gonna leave that one there, and we're back to the honest.
yeah.
Costco
So I remember,
hot dogs. are pretty good, by
so
the way.
once they realized that Cordelia's blind, all of a sudden Giles realizes, oh, this is the work of witches because witches like to make people blind. That's one of their main tricks.
or fucking a hot dog. It might be one or the other.
Well, I thought this was kind of interesting and shows that part of the reason why adults aren't a big part of the storyline, except to be plot devices, because he's like, who hates cheerleaders? And they're all like, no, it makes more sense for it to be somebody that really wants to be a cheerleader. Oh, it must be Amy. Because pressure, because mom, because weight loss and brownies.
I like how brownies became such like a part of this girl's identity throughout this episode.
They really were. Because so Willow had talked about how strict her Amy's mom was, and that like if she gained even a pound, she would padlock the fridge. So Amy would come hang out at Willow's house and they'd pig out on brownies. And then like after they get alternate, Buffy tries to like comfort her and be like, let's go pig out on some brownies. And she's like, no. So yeah,
skateboard. Son of a bitch! I had one skateboard once.
That was one time.
That was one time.
One brownie, guys. One.
The limit does not exist. I love that movie.
But yeah, so they just talk about like, you know, Amy's got all this crazy pressure from her mom, and Buffy's like, yeah, I relate. And so they're trying to figure out. They're not sure that Amy even realizes that she's doing this because obviously they're not getting the same cutscenes as us of the bubbling cauldron.
Very troll too, like
it is.
Yeah.
It's like the same shade of green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
But Xander immediately clocks that now that Cordelia's out, Buffy being first alternate is on the team. He has very quickly learned what an alternate is. So he's like, we've got to protect Buffy. And Willow's like, I'm going to look who checked out books on witchcraft. And Xander's like, don't do that. It's not necessary. Let's focus on protecting Buffy. And Willow's like, I mean, you know, let's see when Amy checked, if she checked out books. So that way we can know. And then all of the books on witchcraft were checked out by Xander. Travis really got a good chuckle out of this scene.
Because like I thought that this was going to play into like the episode where he was like, oh yeah, well, I mean, I know a little bit about witchcraft, but then they're like, oh, were you just looking at like the half naked girls in the pictures? He's like,
no.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like, it's not what it sounds like. And Will was like, were you looking at the inscriptions of naked women? And he was like, okay, yeah, it's what it looks
exactly
like.
what it sounds like.
Yeah, that actually did get a chuckle out of me. I thought it was pretty good.
That is pretty messed up, but that used to be the old witch movies too. Not the movie called The Witch, but you know the burning witches, witchcraft type movies.
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about, though. Like he in his library, there are like in this school library, there are books about witches. It's not Giles' personal collection, like how he brings up that vampire thing
is mixed in with the books.
Because they do say in the first episode that he brought a lot of these. The convenient Deus Ex Machina books he brought with him.
But he's just only been there like a couple of days, right? So like how long ago did Xander check these out? Like, it makes it sound like it was in the past.
Right.
Xander is constantly horny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the books were there beforehand is my point.
We didn't get a date on when they were checked out.
Well, I'm just making assumptions here.
Well, the good news is Giles doesn't have to reference his book to know that there's a way to figure out if somebody has cast a spell in the past 48 hours. And conveniently, all of the ingredients can be found in the chemistry lab, which also is conveniently the class they're in next, which seems to double as chemistry and biology for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like half of you are dissecting a frog, the other half are mixing acid.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
who is giving teenagers hydrofluoric acid?
But
why is that a thing?
I did that.
Who is also a biology teacher and a chemistry teacher in the same class? Like when I was in high school, biology and chemistry were separate classes.
Exactly. It's it seems very inefficient because he's like, okay, all right, cut open your frog. You all just don't burn your skin off. It's fine.
And you use a drill press properly. And wait a minute. There's also a shop class? Hey, man. You know, all the budget went to the bronze.
Yeah,
and
it's
are we also in lunch too? Why is that man eating a cheeseburger next to me while I'm dissecting a frog?
Delicious.
But yeah, so they make this potion, and Buffy very casually spills it on Amy, and it turns blue, so they confirm she is a witch. And then another cheerleader in the class's mouth disappears.
Like at that instant.
Mouth disappears?
It's like covered in flesh. Like it's just like skin. Yeah.
I don't.
And that was actually the distraction Buffy needed because they spilled it on her arm. It's like, what are you doing? Look, she has no mouth.
And they tried to play it off like they couldn't believe that Amy actually is the witch because she seemed distressed about the cheerleader's mouth disappearing. They're like, she's just as upset as the rest of us. But I think it was really meant to be that she's upset that Buffy poured the thing on her.
Yeah, it looked to me as if she was staring at Buffy. She wasn't staring at the person without a mouth. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll be honest. That visual creeped me out.
It's actually, compared to the past 2 episodes, it looks pretty decent. I'll give it credit.
Is it like Deadpool, the
kind of
Wolverine movie? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not far off.
Okay, yeah, that creeped me out too.
You know, the mouthless merc with a mouth.
Yeah, the best version of him.
Yeah,
Obviously.
we don't talk about that Deadpool.
Not unless we are in a Deadpool movie breaking the fourth wall.
Which that was awesome. That and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I like the green. No, I didn't. Okay, so she's missing a mouth, and then I guess she's breathing through her nose, right? Like,
Yeah.
Really unfortunate time to get a cold.
Now that I think about it, she has to deal with this for the rest of the episode. So, like, do people? This is another thing I'm thinking about. Like, so there's like vampires and shit, and suddenly somebody doesn't have a mouth anymore, and people are like, "Yo, this is a normal day of school." Like, nobody's actually talking about this the next day. Like, they're like, "Yo, how did that happen? Was it a chemistry accident? Did she burn it off?" Like, you know,
there are some great references to stuff like this in later seasons.
Okay, well, as long as it's acknowledged later on, it's just so weird to me.
They end up having a lot of fun with it, especially the senior year season.
Okay, well, what grade are they now?
Sophomores.
Okay,
sophomores. Okay.
Yeah.
That would. All right. Well, I could buy it for now. I can buy it for now. Then what happens?
We cut to Amy's house, and Amy's a straight up bitch to her mom.
Oh yeah,
she's like, I have a history paper due. Write it.
Yeah.
I've got to deal with Buffy. She knows I'm a witch. And then she reveals that she has Buffy's bracelet. Which, honestly, if I'm Buffy, that's kind of a relief, because how do you stop wearing this creepy bracelet without hurting your friend's feelings?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not me. A witch took it. She's going to kill me.
Yeah, it's like that Friends episode. Where'd you get this? The Mr. T House of Crap?
Yep, exactly. It's that same kind of energy.
I pity the fool.
So, okay. But if it's Buffy's bracelet, but she didn't like it, does it still have the same effect? Wouldn't it rebound on Xander instead?
No, it's just whoever. It's just you have to have an item that belongs to the person you're putting the spell on.
Uh-huh.
Which I like this spell that they do for Buffy, because this is one of my favorite scenes, and this is something that I do when I become overly caffeinated, and now Travis finally has context for it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, she wakes up the next day, she smashes the alarm clock. We know she's got super strength because she's a slayer, but normally she can hold it back. She's just like bouncing all over the place. She comes down, she tells her mom, hey, sorry about the fight, but you just don't get it because, modern moms can't understand what it's like for a vampire slayer. And Joyce is like, wait, what the fuck? And then Buffy's just going,
orange juice.
Yeah, and then Buffy's just going, macho man.
Yeah.
I want to be a macho man.
So
orange juice.
Even after watching this episode, I'm not entirely clear on what the curse is, but to my understanding at this scene, it's just the curse of having the singing macho man for the rest of your life, which, it can be fine, but I don't really understand, like, what, is it ever clearly said what that
it's
was
not
for
losing
her?
your mouth.
No,
Or
it's
being set on fire.
Giles later says it's a bloodstone vengeance spell, and essentially what it does is make her act like she's really drunk. So we're seeing, like, this is the happy drunk level, where you're like, let's party, and she goes to practice right before the big game, and she's way over energetic, and she's running into people, and when she's supposed to toss somebody for a trick, she throws them all the way across the gym, and she gets kicked off the team, and then Willow and Xander are trying to carry her to Giles, and that's when she starts getting, sloppy drunk, right? And she's telling Xander that it's great that she can trust him to be so nice because he's basically one of the girls.
Yeah, he gets friend zone there.
Damn.
Yeah, and then she kind of passes out. So she goes through all those stages of drunkenness, and Giles is like, yeah, this basically is essentially like magic alcohol poisoning because she's only got a couple hours before she's dead.
Okay.
Don't bring him to Giles. Okay, so they basically brought like a passed out Buffy the Giles.
Yeah, everything you know about Giles up to this point, that's not who I would bring him to.
Everything you allege about Giles.
Hey man, it's only episode 3 and he's not really queered himself
You
yet.
have biased yourself against Giles.
All right, let me explain this next part then, because they find out that they need to go to her house because they find out that's where
Or cut off Amy's head.
Or cut off Amy's head.
But because Buffy is a good guy, she says she doesn't blame Amy. She just sees the pressure that she's under and wants to work on reversing the spells.
Right. So they decide that they need to go to her house because obviously she's doing the spells there. So in the middle of a school day, Giles takes a student into his car and then just leaves. That's also not a good look for this guy, okay? Especially if she's supposed to be drunk, yes. So
he's just watching out for her and taking her to her friend's house where no one's home so they can go through her belongings.
You gotta say, yeah, he's taking her to a stranger's home.
Rummage to the bedroom. That's what they'll do. Yeah.
But because we have Chekhov's brownies planted early in the episode.
It's like she sees, okay, yeah. So they go in there and they see the mom, and the mom is like, she's just kind of sitting there eating brownies. And then Buffy sees the brownies. It's like, oh my God, that's Amy. Because obviously that's such a huge part of her identity that, if somebody's eating brownies, it's got to be her. But I thought that was a nice twist because I did not see that coming. I thought that it was just like a reverse on the relationship whenever she came in there earlier. And she was the abusive one, but then to find out that they had actually swapped bodies. So the mom has taken over Amy's body because she wants to live her life. She thought that she was wasting her youth and wanted to become a cheerleader and just live through her.
Oh.
Yes. So we kind of skipped over a conversation that Buffy and Amy, not Amy, had earlier in the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Amy talks about her mom being like one of the record holder cheerleaders in the school, and her and her dad were high school sweethearts, but then her dad left her. And this is where we find out that Buffy's parents are in fact divorced.
Yeah.
So it's not a dead dad situation. It's a divorced dad situation.
No. Well, is it dad? Is it Negan? I think it might be Negan. Damn it. I know you guys can't spoil it, but that's been my guess. If a guy who's not seen this before, my guess is Negan.
Yep. Well, we'll talk about it more later.
Okay.
See?
He's on to something.
Damn right, man.
But yeah, so they go and get the book. Giles, before they realize that Amy's mom is actually Amy, he fucking lays into her about being an irresponsible parent.
Yeah.
He's scary Giles.
He's already been scary Giles.
Oh my God. Why do you ruin everything?
I'm just saying.
Okay, so maybe Giles is almost a good guy here.
Yeah, well, he gets the book and takes Amy in her mom's body and Buffy to the school. He tells Willow and Xander to keep an eye on Amy and keep her away from the science lab because that's where they're going to do their reverse spell to reverse everything that's happened so far, which would include putting Amy back in her own body.
While the basketball game's going on at apparently 2:00 in the afternoon.
Which also, I was under the impression this was the start of the school year, and this is not basketball season, it's football season.
Yeah, basketball, you're right. If it's the start,
and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's this season or season 2, but I'm fairly certain there's an upcoming episode with the football game. Maybe it's season 2.
There's actually a football game?
Yeah, because I don't think there was a football game in this episode, in this season. Might have been season 2.
Okay, so they're doing basketball and football. My question is, why? Okay, maybe she really likes being a cheerleader or whatever, but why wouldn't she just do all sports? Just be F it, I'm going to dominate everyone. And get out slaying.
She's, wait, Buffy or Amy's mom?
Buffy. I think Buffy should just do all sports and just dominate.
I think she really doesn't have the time commitment to all of the practices, which is kind of the point Giles was making earlier.
But she wants to be she wants to be a cheerleader though.
Yeah. That was a thing
All
from
right.
her life before slaying.
Nah.
I think that was the main thing for her.
So the mom and Buffy are running parallel storylines, both
Kind
trying to get
of.
back into their previous life.
Wow. Yeah. That's a good observation for somebody who's literally not observed the show.
Yeah, I have no idea. Who we're talking about anymore. Like, I know it's like Buffy and the mom. I just use the mom, like Amy's mom. It's Amy's mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Amy's mom.
Yeah. And so, like, while Giles is reversing this spell, he seems to be really good at witchcraft. Keep a pin in that. We see, like, it's cutting between the basketball game and the spell, and we get some POV shots from Amy's mom in Amy's body, where she can tell something's happening. She's starting to get vision back in her old body.
Right.
So she ends up falling during a trick, and everybody is like, "What's wrong with you?" And she runs out dramatically, and Will and Xander try and stop her, and she does this like Darth Vader chokehold.
Yeah,
to
that's
Xander.
what I thought too. I was like, so is the Force witchcraft or something? Because like she just like does the thing where she reaches out and chokes him, like exactly like Darth Vader does. So I thought that was strange. Like it's weird that they suddenly gave her those powers.
I mean, Joss references a lot of pop culture in this show. A lot.
Maybe that's what it was just going for, a common reference point that people, don't have to explain away too much, and he was just kind of having fun with it. But I haven't seen it.
Especially the first few seasons, it's very campy. It's a very campy show. So,
It was made from a very campy movie.
yeah.
That was the part of the fun about the movie, so I'm glad they maybe kept that for a bit. Even
in some of the heavier seasons, there's still campy episodes. So,
are they doing the Bat-Tusi? They're not doing the Batman dance, are they? No.
I know what you're talking about.
Does Adam West appear in this episode? I would love Adam West to appear in these. Maybe he does. We can't say. Adam West, a vampire. All right. So we established vampires and witches.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently anyone could be a witch. Like, how did she find out to be a witch? It can't just be library books. Everyone would be like Xander would be a witch.
We'll talk more about witchcraft in this series.
Xander was more interested in the half-naked people, so I guess he would have been potentially, but I don't know.
He didn't even read any of the words in the books.
It's like going to the National Geographics.
Well, we did Sears catalog back in the day. Oh, I did, at least. Before all these things. Oh, this brings up another thing. So if this existed now, with everyone having a cell phone camera and recording everything they do, would this like get off at all? I mean, would their vampires be able to do anything?
I think that would make it easier for people to write off what's happening, because they could just be like, fake.
Dude, well, nobody gives a shit anyways.
Staged.
I know, I'm just saying, like, it gives more, like, because people are like, no, but look, vampires are real. And they're like, cool editing, bro.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That was the very powerful disbelief. And that's how the demons get you. Through not believing in the... that's the exorcism book I was reading. Sorry. Yeah, so, okay, we have this, and Giles is doing his magic.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting force choked.
No, Xander got force choked.
Oh, sorry. Xander got force choked.
Yes. And then when that happens, Willow tries to help him. Amy's mom and Amy's body runs to the science lab. It's locked, but that's okay because there's an axe, which is apparently not necessary because this door is made of butcher paper.
Yeah, very clearly.
She could just go and it would fall down.
Nice. She could throw a bottle of water at it and it would dissolve.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a fight. Giles gets knocked out. Just keep an eye on Giles' knocked out count.
Yeah, because and it wasn't like, oh, he got hit or no, he got lightly tapped against the wall. He's like, nope, I'm good. I'm taking a nap. See you later.
Like, you got it from here.
I was like, oh, he barely got. He's British.
A watcher,
that's
not
why.
A fighter.
Yeah, he's British. That's why.
Travis, in terms you will understand, he kind of becomes a Krillin.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so basically Giles has finished the spell, kind of. So things are reversed, but Amy's mom is now back in her own body, and she's going to throw a curse at Amy, but it doesn't work, and she spirits herself away.
Doesn't she throw it at Buffy? And Buffy like hits like something to reflect it?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Like a mirror?
I don't even know what it was. She just like kicks something and something falls in front of her.
It
and then
I think it might have been like one of those, dissection trays. Because they were in the science lab.
That makes sense.
So they had science, they had biology / chemistry class just so they can excuse why she had a biology tray 20 minutes later in the episode for one thing.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Well, so magic kind of like can't
Also,
go around trays?
Okay, but listen to this, though, because we talked about how ornate the library is. And clearly some funding went into that. But the budget got slashed that now biology and chemistry have to be taught at the same time.
Yes, that was actually a joke I was going to make, but I forgot what was big.
By the same professor at the same time. By the same teacher.
Who's probably also some sort of sports coach.
Yeah. It's just like, because at least when I was in high school, we had separate biology teachers and separate chemistry. Those guys know I do biology, I do chemistry. I cover the German club. I direct the high school play. I'm a substitute lunch lady on Wednesdays.
All during driver's
ed. I coach the lacrosse team.
Yeah, that was John Antonuk for me. John Antonuk did chemistry, biology, physics, calculus, and he could do English if he wanted to. He would write the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam always on the board. Sometimes they get people like that, and they actually had replaced him with 8 different people when he retired. Every once in a while, but I always like the health teacher who's obviously not wanting to teach health.
Oh, that's like the guy going back to Mean Girls.
If you have
the
sex,
Mean Girls scene is like,
you will get chlamydia and die.
Oh wow, yeah. No.
So this apparently was the pretty heavy Mean Girls episode.
Yeah, we should just do a Mean Girls podcast.
Okay.
And again, I could do the same thing. I haven't seen that movie either. I'm like, what the hell is Mean Girls?
But this actually episode, I was just watching this the other day. This episode was actually referencing the Big Bang Theory.
There's a
really?
What?
Well, because what it was, there was a B plot in one of the episodes where Leonard was trying to get Penny, hey, because she's like, oh, I don't like stuff you do, whatever. He's like, hey, I have something that maybe you and I can both watch because it's got elements for both of us. And he holds up the season 1 DVD case of Buffy.
Oh.
And then there's a scene where you hear the Buffy theme song, which once again, one of my all-time favorite theme songs.
Bonanza?
No, that's one. Actually, that one's actually not bad. But
just imagine MASH, and you'll be
MASH
good.
is good too. But he's like, so it's like, she was like, oh, this was okay, and he's like, well, you enjoy the next episode. It's about cheerleaders that go crazy.
Does that not happen in several episodes, or is this the only one?
Well, I was just because he actually had the season 1. I don't want to be like,
okay.
well, actually, but he actually had the season 1 DVD case.
Okay.
Interesting.
Kind of cool.
It was just timing. Like I watched the episode like 2 days ago, so it was just like, oh, I can bring this up at the same time.
And I'll still go, what the hell's Big Bang?
Oh, that's 12 seasons of sitcom.
12? Big Bang is for 12.
12 seasons.
Fuck me. Is any sitcom? What year was this? Big Bang?
See, that was started in 2008. So this episode would have been around 2013, 2014.
Wow, yeah, no. I must have missed that. Oh, well. More on the podcast that Jim doesn't know most pulp culture, apparently. So we have the magic deflects because it runs away from the dissection tray and it goes and it rebounds on Amy's mom's.
Yeah, Amy's mom.
And she's presumably dead at this point. So
I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say to me bounces off me and sticks to you.
I thought that so the mom disappears, and I just thought that Amy was like an orphan now. But They make it clear, like in the next scene, like how much of a difference her personality is because she's wearing like a peace sign, like tie-dye shirt.
It's not that different though, because she's got to stay in Saturday night with her dad and make brownies.
Exactly. Yeah, she's like, the brownies come up
God.
again. Yeah, she fucking loves brownies, man. Like that's her identity. But yeah.
And Buffy and Joyce make up.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, Joyce is like, you're right. I don't get it, being a teenager.
Oh. I like the ending shot of this though, because I like and I don't like. So the final shot is like, they're like, okay, well, what happened to the mom? And then they like does a slow zoom on the trophy that she won like a long time ago when she was in school there for cheerleading. And like you get like this really poorly done CGI eyes over the trophy. Oof. And she's like looking around like they've trapped her inside the trophy. But it looks herself. Terrible. She trapped herself? Oh, that's what she was trying to do to her. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, she's trapped in the trophy now, but it looks terrible. But I like the way the ending
eye
looks.
Effect was horrible.
I like the implication of that. She's just like permanently trapped in that trophy now. I thought it was nice.
And that's
At least she's immortal, sort of.
Yeah, I guess.
What good does it do if you're trapped in a trophy?
Stuck in her golden years.
Yeah, see, that's a secret of...
But no, actually, Amy ends up becoming a recurring character throughout the series, too.
And so does a trophy.
Yes, but no,
actually,
a whole bunch of things.
Actually, we do reference the trophy a couple of times.
But Amy as a character comes back at least once through most of the seasons.
Yeah.
Or is it hopefully for making brownies?
Yeah, does she mention brownies more?
No spoilers. You don't have to spoil it, but she does.
Okay, that's probably a big like plot device in a future episode.
Yeah. Watch, we're making fun of it. Like episode 25 actually is.
Yeah, we're going to be so invested in the brownies too. We're going to be like, oh my God, the brownies. Did you notice that?
They kill vampires. That's how they kill a vampire, is a brownie. Like, really?
Yeah.
Shit. It's a nut allergy. It was wicked. Who knew?
She becomes one of the first recurring characters of the show that's not part of the main cast.
Well, sure the hell wasn't Jess, apparently.
As a witch, by the way. No, she is a witch now.
I'm glad you mentioned Jesse because they don't.
Yeah.
Never again.
We forgot. He dies at the end of the second episode.
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, he got dusted.
Yeah, Xander had the stake it to him, and he's like, you're not going to do it. It's like, man, I can't do it. And then somebody just shoulder checks him into the stake and dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. We treated him the same way. Like, he is never referenced ever again.
That was his best friend, too. He's just,
it's like, oh, man. And Xander's basically like, oh, man, I got Jesse all over me.
Well, as Voodoo Priestess would say, she was dripping with baby bear. All right.
No, it's like every other episode. Once a character, once a character for an episode, dies or goes away, we never speak of them ever again.
We speak their names, except for Buffy. We don't speak their names ever again. They are persona non grata. Donzos. Well, I'm still not buying it for the episodes. Maybe I might just buy some brownies now. Shit, that was... Yeah,
I'm also gonna throw out there that those were definitely the Little Debbie walnut brownies on the tray at the house.
I ate that shit when I was a kid all the time. I recognized that. I was like, those are the nuts.
You break them in half. Yeah, I used to sell those at lunchtime. Not because it was my side gig. I would bring my lunch to school.
Black market brownies.
Yeah, $5. I can buy an entire box for like $1. But all right. That and ho-ho, Swiss rolls. Oh, my God. All right. All the things that when you get older, your doctor will never let you have again. So, with that depressing note on never having brownies again, I think this is shaping up, guys. It's shaping up to something that I'm still not going to watch. Travis, are you still with us for watching the rest of the series?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this third episode. It worked kind of like what they were saying before. The first two episodes are very much like setting things up. And then I kind of liked how this one expanded things a little bit by introducing something other than a vampire. So, I'm kind of excited to see where it goes from here.
That is very, very, very cool. And maybe one day they'll have a Fae, because I need more vampire Fae crossovers, because I haven't done enough of every other vampire show that existed ever to have that. Wow. Oh my gosh. Perfect timing. Without any further ado, I'm going to say, on behalf of myself, Jim Phoenix, and we've got our super fans, Jess and Xander, and we have a different name than, person who just watched it once. We'll think about that later. Travis, we all wish you a very Buffy day as we go get brownies. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.